Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Ivy League. I shouldn't say welcome back. If you've never been here, welcome. But those of you who are back, welcome back to the Ivy League, a Chicago Cubs podcast. I am, of course, Marco Santana, out here in beautiful Orlando, Florida. We got Rob Osterman in Savannah and Ethan Davis, DeKalb.
Yeah, you got it
Okay,
right this
okay.
time. All right,
It
well,
only,
there you go.
it only took us 12 episodes for me to freaking remember where you're from. Guys, we had a listen. They're not all going to be bangers, right? 3-3 this week. Of course, Phillies took 2 out of 3 from us, and then we took 2 out of 3 from the Pittsburgh Pirates. I almost said Steelers. What the hell's wrong with me? That was about 3 or 4 hours ago when we finished up winning the series. Ethan, what are your thoughts on this week? Before we get into details, what were your thoughts this week?
I definitely think we could have taken that last game against Philadelphia in extra innings.
Yeah.
It's always tough to lose in extra innings. And to be honest, I felt like we probably should have gotten Pittsburgh yesterday too.
I mean,
But we
they
rallied for the series.
well,
win,
let's
right?
be honest. They should be 50-0 by now, right? They should be 40-0. They shouldn't have lost any games at all. No. Rob,
But with Philadelphia, the second game, we got spanked, right? I'll
yeah,
take a spanking. It's when
right.
you lose the game at the last inning or two or an extra.
It's annoying.
It gets me.
It's
It
annoying.
is annoying.
Rob, what are your thoughts on this week, man?
Philly series, the spanking wasn't so bad. It was a little disappointing to see some of the lack of clutch come out, but we've been on a good tear, and Pirates should not have beat us yesterday.
Yeah.
To be clear, that's Wednesday. Pirates should not have beat us Wednesday. And
we record Thursday.
They shouldn't even had one of the runs that they had today, I think, probably. But
that's all right. 8-3 is fine, right? 8-3,
yeah, it's fine. But when you're not playing the Pirates, those errors, those mishaps really need to get quieted down. So, I mean, very happy with the week overall.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it was a fine week. I think, to your point, Rob, we're going to talk a little bit about that later. The runners in scoring position, like last year, if I remember, like again, we had a lot of games where we just couldn't come up with clutch. This year, I feel like it's a lot more balanced. There are games where we do kind of just completely. Even today looked like that day when we left the bases loaded early. But I think more than last year, we're coming through in those clutch situations. So, yeah.
I feel like it's reversed. Like last year, it was like 1 out of 3 games we would hit with runners in scoring position, where now it's like 2 out of 3 games we do.
Yeah.
But Michael Busch, you brought it up, that bases loaded, swinging at the first pitch when it's that low of a fastball.
After he just walked a couple guys, like come on.
It's like come on, man, take the first pitch then.
Are we talking about this now or later?
Well, we'll talk about later. But
okay.
But,
I got something for you for later when we.
We all got something for that jerk. We're gonna call Michael Busch, get him on the show, and ask him about that.
Oh, not Bush, not Bush. Risk.
So, Ethan, no, Rob, let's get back to trivia. Right. So we started something last week. We're going to be doing this every week. Is trivia. We're going to start. We will incentivize it down the road. We're kind of talking in the background about what we're going to do. But Rob, give me let's do this trivia. I think I had fun with it last week, man. That was cool. Even though I missed 2 out of 3, I think, and Ethan almost Ethan got. I might miss all 3. Anyway, Rob, we're gonna throw out the questions, and at the end of the show, we will give you the answers. So, Rob, take it away.
All right. This week, first week of May, we got Mother's Day in May, so I'm going to attempt to keep all the trivia in May related to family. The Cubs have had 5 sets of brothers. 5 that I found right off the cuff. 5 sets of brothers play for them in the last 55 years.
Okay.
50 years.
Not simultaneously necessarily, right?
No, simultaneously.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Play for them at the same time.
Okay.
Name those brothers.
That's 5 questions in one, man. Okay, question 2.
No. Name any of them.
Right.
Any of them.
All right, question number 2.
That's all I had because it was an all-encompassing.
So it is 5 questions.
There's 5 answers.
Okay.
Pick. If you can get 2 of them, you get a cookie.
I only have one.
Okay. Where's this cookie from? Because are we talking like
Birds Cookies in Savannah, Georgia?
All right.
I bet it'd be great. I'm in. But that's good, man. That's good. No, we're definitely gonna we'll go ahead and answer that later on. I got an idea in my head of one pair, but we'll talk about that later on. Because right now, man, listen, we were rolling high last week. We were just ready to, just let's get to October, screw the rest of the season. And the Phillies come in town and say, hold up there, guys, hold up. We are also professional baseball players, so we can win these games too. What did you guys see out of Philadelphia, Rob? Let's start with you. I mean, just kind of not necessarily Philadelphia, but the Philadelphia series. We started out strong and looked good, and then we just dropped the last 2 there.
You know what, man? I'm not super worried about losing a series to Philadelphia this early in the season. Their Phillies are a really good team who is only a couple games removed from having the same record as us.
Right.
We lost the series to a team that's approximately as good as us. I think we got a better team. I think we had some really unfortunate happenings in that series that really shouldn't have happened. And to keep it brief, that's my take. We should have won one more of those.
Yeah,
I mean, really good team. Those guys can play baseball.
You can't look at. I mean, JMO came out and just dealt, man. And then ended up like not getting no decision, obviously. Ethan, you look at that, you're gonna have a clunker every now and then, the 10-4 loss, of course. But what were your takes on that series from the perspective of like, hey, we're not gonna win them all, even though Wrigley was rocking, they still took 2 out of 3 from us.
Well, they were due. The Phillies just got swept by the Mets.
Struggling. Yeah.
And a team that good isn't going to struggle for much longer than a week, which they already had their rough week. They were due.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the second game, we're going to have games like that. If you're going to beat us, just flat out beat us. But the extra innings, the 9th inning, those are the losses that are a little tough to swallow. But
sure, man.
They had a couple things just go their way in that 10th inning. And like we were talking earlier, I mean, sometimes teams just, you get the ball in play and luck comes into equation sometimes. So,
that's right. That was the 10th inning.
Yeah.
Well, we also had that game where it just, we got they nicked us up early, and then we kind of made a comeback with the bullpen. The 10-4 game I'm talking about. Even the 10-4 game was closer than it could have been, because I think they went up 6-0, then we scored like 3 or 4, and or something like that. But I know it got closer near the end of the game. Then they just kind of ran away with it.
And again, if the bullpen's going to choke, I'd rather it be in games like that.
Yeah.
It's those
that we're already losing.
I've said it once. I'll say it again. There is something that just kicks you right in the face when you lose a 9th inning or 10th inning game, especially at home, when you have the chance to go with the Manfred man.
And I'll add on to say that, like, especially when you're throwing maybe not your studs at the back, but it's not like we were throwing in like some guy who just had, we're down 6, so let's just throw someone, eat these innings and move on. We were trying to win that game, obviously, and they still kind of came through on us. Rob?
Yeah, I mean, So I'll touch on the pitching real quick for that 10-4 game. Ben Brown didn't look like a starter.
No.
And I'll be the biased one, and I will stick to my guns. Ben Brown belongs in the 7th, 8th inning. He does not belong starting. I don't think he sticks as a starter long term, and that just reinforced my position. Selectively biased, I know, but I hate to see it. I hope he bounces back, and I hope he continues to elevate himself as a starter.
Well, there's a couple factors.
Ethan Roberts' was uncharacteristic, 4 runs, disappointing, but I'm not too terrible mad at that one.
There's a couple factors in that too, because I think the one is Assad, we learned, is going to be out a lot longer. But at the same time, we got Cade Horton coming up behind him. So it's like, what do you do with Brown? Do you throw Horton in there? Right? So it's going to be interesting to see what the decisions are, because I'm with you on the sense that, like, I don't know if Brown's a starter, but it's right now it's like, do we replace him with like someone like Cade who's never been up here, or because Assad's no longer an option. Not to beat on this too long, Ethan, but what are your thoughts when it comes to that? Well, it's good to have options, I think.
Right. Well, first of all, I don't want to see Cade Horton as a starter for at least another year or two. If he comes up in the bullpen, that's great. But he has never pitched over 100 innings in pro ball. He's had a major injury history. I think setting him up to be a starter is a recipe for a disaster. He's already had some surgeries, been out for entire seasons already, and he's never even seen the majors. But the caveat to that is, with Assad's injury, he's probably not going to come back as a starter either. And if he does,
are you staying the course with Ben Brown?
I think right now, until we get somebody else in the trade deadline, it will be. And I'm not thrilled about that. I think I'm with Rob. I think he's somebody that needs to cement himself in the bullpen. I just think that 2-pitch mix is a starter, especially against teams that have already seen you before.
Yeah, that's tough.
They can start to predict your pitch selection and your pitch sequencing easier, and it's just.
What we should do, though, is just go out and get Alcantara and get it over with.
Well, I think his asking price is going to be pretty high. I think we have better luck, given recent history, getting Shane Baz from the Rays. He's somebody else I'd be interested in. The bottom line is, I think there's no way we don't get a starting pitcher at the trade deadline, because Jed Hoyer.
Yeah, we're still going to be. Yeah, we'll be in the race all the time.
Yeah. But he's also said, like, hey, the asking price is going to be way higher now than it will be in a month and a half. So we're going to see. So I just hope, my hope for Ben Brown is he can just be sub 4 runs allowed a game.
The thing is, we're talking about our number 5 starter, right? The other 4 are doing like if not phenomenal, they're at least they're consistent, and that's important to our team.
Right.
As long as he maintains a semi-serviceable 5th starter role, I'll be okay with it, as long as also everybody else keeps doing what they're doing.
Well, I think Jim DeShay's
the other 4 spots are really good right now.
Yeah. I was saying that I think Jim DeShay was saying that, like, you need Brown to get like a changeup or something like that, and then he would be a lot more effective. Obviously, right?
Changeup
or something, just,
man. A 2-seamer, just something brother. Besides the 4.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell,
the good thing about it is, though, like, once and again, we're not acting like the sky is falling, but we were able to head over to Pittsburgh, and guys, there's a new guy in the lineup. His name's Dansby Swanson. He's like, you know what? I forgot that the season started in March. So, but you got to give him his props, man. 6 out of 11 over there in Pittsburgh, and Ethan, what's this kind of? It's got to bode well for our lineup. I mean, he's down 7-8 now, but he looks great.
He does. He looks well this week, but we can't.
It might be a Pittsburgh thing too.
Well, it could be.
Right.
But you got to keep in mind he has been struggling. I'm not taking away from that. His struggles have been really tough on our offense. And then he had that. It wasn't an error yesterday, but it should have been. And he had his first error today, botching that double play. So it's weird. I feel like when his offense starts to kick up to a higher level, then his defense seems to go down.
No, come on. It's small sample size. Come on now.
But just the past couple of games, he's going to be a Gold Glover. I'm not taking away from that. But I think if he could he's already hitting for more power so far than, I think he's 7 or 8 homers.
Yeah, it had been a while though, but yeah.
For somebody like him, if he stays in the 8th spot in the lineup, I am happy trading power for average 100%.
Because we moved Kate. Who play? You know what? Who batted 4th today? I know Carson Keller was yesterday or the last couple of days.
Or Bushy was back to 4 today.
Okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. But yeah, I mean, Rob, again, it's one of those things. Like, yeah, but it's the Pirates. But our pitching looked good. Obviously, Shota obviously did his thing. And today, Colin Rea. I mean, Colin Rea has just been a find.
Colin Rea is kind of peaking right now, and I'm okay with that.
I don't know. I mean, you don't want to call a peak. This could be him. You never know.
No, I mean, I don't. Peaking, it doesn't mean that the peak is an instantaneous up followed by a swift down.
That's a peak.
I mean, okay, he's clipping, all right? Okay. But he's plateauing.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a turn of phrase. He's doing really well, and I'm really happy to see it.
Right.
It was great to see, what was it, 5 innings the other day in the versus the Phillies?
I think so. Today and
5 2/3 today.
Oh, he was full 6.
He went full 6.
He hit full 6 today. I was a little busy during the 5th, 6th, 7th today.
But he only struck out a couple, but yeah, he's not a strikeout.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good. Everything I saw today looked great. Dansby, we've been saying it for a couple of weeks that he needs to move back down in the lineup. Why the hell you got him hitting 5th? I don't care.
Did you guys know that Craig Counsell was watching
us?
Did you guys know that Craig Counsell was watching us? I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
about damn time.
Yeah,
I know, right? You should share it on social.
I don't think the Pirates are as bad as everybody makes them out to be. I think they've got a really intriguing young group of offensive talents. Probably. But I don't think they're as bad as everybody is making them out to be. Personally, they've got a lot of good looks to them, and so we lost one to them, but we took the series as we should have.
You know what? Too, we haven't even talked about this. We beat Skenes. I mean, that's the one that everyone fears,
and we just mutilated Skenes today
in that one inning. The other innings he got us, but the one inning, the boom, boom, boom.
That's all that mattered. The one inning was enough for the lead. That was the first time he's given up 3 homers, and it all came in one inning.
Yeah, and so I think,
and then
we got young like O'Neal Cruz is just pretty great. Reynolds is good, but like their lineup just has too many holes in it to win more than 70 games. And we should take the series at least like 70% of the games at least. This year.
Speaking of our last 2 series, what do you guys think? Who's looked like the most suitable placeholder until Matt Shaw figures his swing out?
John Birdie.
Yeah, I mean, he gives you that added element of speed, for sure.
Don't care about the speed.
I know you don't
care about the defense at third base.
I'm talking about that too.
That's
I mean, overall player, I think Birdie's the best one we got over there. We haven't seen a lot of Nicky Lopez, but I mean, I think it's Birdie's to drop. But I have no idea what Counsell's thinking at all.
Well, I think Nicky Lopez was hitting the ball hard today, which he just was getting a little underneath it, so I'll take that. But John Birdie, he's batting over 300. He's a good singles hitter. He's fast.
Yeah. If
he got more consistent playing time at third, I think that a lot of those errors would dwindle too. But I think Brujan just not a third. I just don't like seeing him at third. I don't mind him in the lineup, to give somebody a day off, but
it was this. Remember it was this. Patting that when you got Trey Turner running down the line.
Okay.
It's like, okay,
so
you can't do that.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up. And I've seen a lot of discourse around that particular play and how Brujan never should have made a roster and whatever. Brujan is not a third baseman. Yeah. And I don't really want to see him over there. But let's be real. You got the 4th fastest guy in the league running down the line. Yes, he should have played it differently slightly. Yes, he should not have clutched it. I get all that. But he made a good defensive play. He made a rocket of a throw. I still don't want to see him over there, but I don't think it's as like damning as
No, I mean, I
I've
think
seen a lot of people say it is.
to me, I think, and again, this is like I'm not in the major, so right, I'm not like better than him. But it's fun. I think it's fundamentals though. You have to know who the runner is. You have to charge that ball, and if you miss it, you miss it. But you have to charge if you are going to first, because it's Trey Turner, number 4, as you said, 4th fastest. We know that. Vidal's got to know that in real time, and he has to know that. Or even like short hop and try to beat the guy to third, even though that was not going to happen. I know that.
Or go home or
go
something.
home or there's something.
Like I said,
yeah.
I don't think we've seen the last of him at third.
No, of course not.
I think he needs to be the third man on the totem pole right now for sure.
And he really is. It's just I think it was a numbers.
He was only ever supposed to be our like backup utility man, pinch runner.
You still got to give those people innings though.
Yeah,
you do, or else they're never going to do anything. Word. And I think I'll take Lopez, Brujan, and Birdie any day of the week over Turner at third base.
Yeah.
He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn right now. His timing is so off. I respect the veteran presence in the clubhouse. I know he's really helped mentoring the young guys, and he does a good majority of the time. He does take pitches.
Yeah.
But when he comes in as a pinch runner, I don't want somebody to take 10 pitches. I want them to get on base.
Yeah.
And get a hit or get something. And he just time and time again, he just has come up short. I hate seeing him as a pinch hitter. I hate seeing him in the lineup. I really do. It's time for him to get
his
cut.
glory days are definitely not here right now. And I don't know what to do with him, right? I mean, because I think we touched on it last week a little bit. You're not going to
release him.
Not right now, anyway.
No.
And I know Ethan. I know if Ethan had this roster, all our guys would be already gone. So
no, it would literally just be Turner. Everybody else has done something, and it's baseball, right? You can't always. It's a game of failure, and I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But Turner's failure,
not 100% of the time like him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And reasonable, fact-based Ethan is completely different than who I am in the game chats. I think from now on, I'm going to start replying to the game chats with emojis or memes to just chill. I get so worked up because
I'm going to see a lot of angry faces.
It's hilarious watching you devolve into madness and then go, oh, nice job, guys. Scored some runs.
Angry faces and
bipolar is shit when it comes to the Cubs in the middle of a game. But hey, it keeps everybody on their toes, right?
Right. But all that aside, I mean, I think it's gonna be. I would love to see them go get anybody, right? But the cool thing is like that's the piece we need to like just have solid 1 to 9, even 10 if you include DH.
My thing with that is just like, okay, Shaw's probably going to be back up at some point when they determine that his swing is fixed enough.
Yeah, I think so.
Shaw, I believe, was playing and I don't have stats pulled up. I think he was playing at least serviceable third base, if not a skosh above average.
He was fine. I mean, I think he
was good enough.
Yeah.
So if you got a guy like Shaw as your, platoon with Birdie, even I'd be fine with bringing Shaw back up and seeing him platoon with Birdie.
Well, yeah.
But whatever. I don't think going out and getting a third baseman is necessarily our answer. I think.
Yeah, I don't even care. I want an answer, right? I'm not saying I'm right. I just want an answer.
Yeah.
And I don't know who you would get free agency wise. Nobody that would be better than what we've got. And then in the trade market, and something else people don't consider is when you're a team like the Cubs that is in and it happened with us in 2016 when we traded for Chapman. When we're in a position where we're 1 or 2 pieces short of a championship run, other teams know that. They're going to make their asking price higher. It's just business.
Yeah.
And I think if for us to get a better than what we've been dealing with third baseman, it would cost quite a bit. So what I hope happens is that Shaw figures it out and him and Birdie kind of, tag team it.
Right. Well, I think, to your point, I think we have the challenge for the front office, amongst many, is at what point is everybody fair game because we're going after it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's the issue necessarily. I'm just saying do we get to the point where we do say, okay, the asking price is going to be high, but we have a team capable of winning the World Series, so let's pay the price and see what happens. Because I think we have a good enough roster where no matter who we trade away, we're still gonna have a good roster. And
and deep farm system too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think looking at, I think Rob, you kind of alluded to a little bit earlier, runners in scoring position, man. We're like we were saying earlier, we're just like Jekyll and Hyde, right? Like one day we'll go 6 for 13, and the next day we'll go like 0 for 8, with even worse with K's in there. Who is this team? What do you guys think? I mean, this team that the one full of Mr. Clutches, like a bunch of Reggie Jacksons, or are we looking at because it could easily revert, right? And we don't want that. I don't think it's going to happen. We're all pretty confident in the Cubs, but still frustrating a little bit when you see kind of like bases loaded situations like today and yesterday, and just not coming through, especially in losses, Ethan.
Yeah, and I just think something else I noticed that the situational hitting, wasn't there. Like for me, bases loaded, 1 out. My first thought, or everybody's first thought should be, don't hit into the double play, hit it up in the air, take the sac fly.
Yeah.
There's certain situations like that I feel like they were pressing too much.
Yeah.
But as you saw today with Swanson's homer, it takes one person to get a clutch hit, and they all seem to follow.
Yeah.
So I think we're not as bad as last year, but I wouldn't go to say that we're like elite. I would say we're above league average.
Right.
We're not at that elite status with hitting runners in scoring position.
Like
Definitely
maybe top 10, top
a lot
12.
better.
What do you think,
than what we did
Marco?
last year.
I think when you see people like Dansby start to come through, there is that consistency, and I think to Ethan's point from earlier, I think we do come through 2 out of 3 instead of 1 out of 3 like last year, and I mean the record reflects it, right? Last year if we hit clutch, we probably would have made the playoffs, and that's a huge statistic for just any sort of scoring. And again, being the top scoring team in the league, you have to hit clutch. So I mean, it's not overall. I wouldn't give them like an F, right? But because they're still winning and they're still scoring more runs than anybody. But there is that. The cool thing is there's some things we're leaving on the table, and that's good because if we start flipping that switch on, then we could make another run.
So
right. Okay,
I've got statistical for you.
Sure.
We are the number 2 in the league in batting average with runners in scoring position.
Right.
With a 283 with RISP, right behind the Dodgers. We are also number 2 in strikeouts. And the most strikeouts.
I would love to see strikeouts with runners in scoring position. I bet you we do.
We're also the top team at taking walks with runners in scoring position, have the most RBIs, tied for the most home runs.
Right.
Second place in triples, 4th place in doubles, 1st place in hits.
Right.
Okay. We are elite with runners
in
scoring
we're
position.
Situational, man. There are certain games we've let go because we can't hit.
No, I know that. I know that. And I think there's something to be said for, like, hey, I don't care if you hit with a runner in scoring position while we're up 7. I'd rather you do it while we're down 1.
Right.
But like, ain't nobody can look at what we've been doing and say that we're bad at it.
No, but the
No, I'm
same
saying
Should
time,
we do
bad at it.
better? Yeah.
the runners in scoring position, that's any time a runner's in scoring position. So, like to your point that you just said, you could be up
This
7-1
this goes to
and
Boog.
have a
Ethan Boog mentioned this, right? If you're talking about that,
right.
yeah.
So it's like it's more of the. I'd be interested to see the statistics when the game is tied or we're down a run.
Right.
What we're doing with runners in scoring position, but again, to your point, we couldn't even have this conversation last year. We were so bad at it.
Yes.
So this is definitely a much improved team, and I do think we have a very talented roster. I mean, whether people want to admit it or not, the defense at third base has been rough, but John Birdie's hitting over 300. So,
Right. Yeah.
and
Saw
not the
that.
batting average is everything, but from your
Right.
ninth guy in your
Something,
lineup, I'll take something like that. I'll take a
Yeah.
positive stat. I don't care what it is, as long as your ninth guy is doing something. Because we've talked about it before. But any team in any sport, your backups, the bottom of your lineup, whether it's hockey, baseball, football, everybody's got to contribute. And even Miguel Amaya, your catcher, who was in the ninth spot, had that game-tying home run against
Yes.
the Dodgers. I know that was last week, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
everybody's contributed to some extent. And it's God, is it not fun? I mean, it is.
Well, that's what happened with the great World Series teams, I mean, or even playoff. Let's not get. Let me not get ahead of myself. The great playoff teams, even like who knows who comes in clutch, and that they'll win a couple games over the course of a year, and then make the playoffs by only a couple games.
Right.
So in late and close games, we do fall to like 6th or 7th.
Still not bad, but not
still
elite.
like top third of the league.
We've got
So
a
we
great
do
offense.
fall when you take into account close games, one way or the other. But
we've got a great offense. There's not.
the
I'm
point.
not even 1% saying we don't, but I'm saying there's some clutch situations where we leave.
And I'm
I'd
not
love to
saying
see left on base.
saying
I'd love to see left on base because there's a lot of games where we leave a lot of guys on base.
Yep.
Something else I've noticed this week, stealing bases was like our biggest strength.
Yeah,
And shout out to Derek Hero and the Blue Bleeders group that we're in for bringing that up. I didn't even notice it until he said it, but it's like we got 4 bags that first game against Real Muto and the Phillies, and then we didn't bother running on him the other 2 games, and we didn't even do any stealing in Pittsburgh. That concerns me because our base running and the threat we are stealing bases brings a unique element.
The one thing I do not know, and so I can't speak to this, is pitcher's speed to home, right? Like it maybe like the opening guy in the Phillies series, I forgot who it was, but he might have been slow to home, so we knew we because we're doing a lot more of that. Like when you have a guy who's slow to home, you can expect 4 or 5 stolen bases. At least, like you said though, Ethan, up until 5 days ago, because I have no idea what happened if we just had a string of 3 really quick pitches. I don't even know. But it's a good thing to talk about though.
Yeah, because Joey Bart and Henry Davis are not good defensive catchers. At least
Henry Davis is.
Well,
pop time, he's pretty up there.
Yeah, but with our speedy guys in the infield, I would have thought we would have attempted it more. But then it could have been something of his pop time. Paul Skenes throws pretty hard, pretty fast, has a quick windup. There's things that went into it, I'm sure. But I hope we get back to it.
Yes. I think that's the reason we hung with all these great teams. I think is because we had that speed element for sure.
That's definitely something I'm looking for this coming week is to see whether we get back to it.
Yeah, because we got the Brewers coming up, and we're gonna start digging into the division play a little more.
And Terang's gonna run on us.
Yeah, and I think you're looking at we're up. I think a couple games now. Just starting the division play, 2 out of 3 from Pittsburgh, but like now we got the hated Milwaukee Brewers. Tell me, Ethan, what do you think about the Brewers?
I hate the Brewers. I do. And you know what? I've been to Busch Stadium. I've been to American Family Field. Brewers fans are the most insufferable, sorry excuses of baseball fans. Besides, I will say, rest in peace, Bob Uecker. You were awesome. Everybody else besides you, I hate you. But in all seriousness, Brewers fans were worse to Cubs fans in Milwaukee. And I think it's because when they play the Cubs, there's more Cubs fans in their home.
Yeah, we take all
Brewer fans. But Whatever. Eat my butt. I don't care.
That's your fault.
How's that my fault? I'm sorry. But Cardinals fans were just, for the most part, they didn't even talk to me. So they had no opportunity to be mean because they hated me so much they didn't even want to talk to me. But the Brewers fans hated me just enough. But no, the Brewers have our number. They have had our number. I'm not denying it. Yeah. And I told you earlier in the group chat, I said the Brewers can go 2-160, and those 2 wins would be against the Cubs.
Yeah, like in our clinching games too, like games we needed to.
Right, yeah, that would be the wild card game or something stupid like that.
So I hope we reverse the roles. I hope we steal bases. I hope we're aggressive. If we get caught stealing a couple times, fine. But I hope we're aggressive on every facet of our game, because the Brewers are a scrappy team, and they play small ball better than, I would say, even us. I think they play small ball better than anybody. They are a very well-coached team. We got to be aggressive and hit the ground running. We cannot let them get the lead.
I think it's funny because Brewers Cubs series is always close, not necessarily win-losses, but like a lot of close games. Rob, what are you looking forward to here, kind of playing, getting those guys for the first time?
I mean, I thought it last year too, and it's the same thing. I always feel like managers going back to clubs that they've managed before should have like a little bit of fire under their rear ends.
Right.
And I really hope that Council manages his heart out.
We've never seen him fire up his ass.
And I mean, listen, the Brewers have honestly, their team isn't even as good as it was last year, I don't think.
I think so. I think you're right.
So, but the advancement of Frelick and Churio and Terang, and they've got some really good talent.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see the Quintana game. I always liked Quintana. I never hated him when he left. I never truly hated him when he was here. Right. Disappointed in him, but always,
I hated him when we gave up for him.
Yeah, I hated what we gave up for him. Yeah. I yada yada yada. But that's all hindsight, right? At a certain point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited to see Quintana pitch.
Right.
He's been fun to watch the last year and a half, 2 years. I think it's going to be a good series.
It'll be fun. It's always exciting. It's always loud because of the Cubs and Brewers fans are just kind of going back and forth. So it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a fun week. Yep. There's a rumor, or pardon me, some reports coming out. Bob Nightingale that we now have a ridiculous number that Kyle Tucker might be going after. I think we're looking at $500 million or something like that. I mean, above $500 million, and that's like the initial idea. I agree. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, empty your freaking pot of money, man. Go after him. And this guy's been proving that he just is the guy. Good.
I think signing him, blank check that man. Do it. I think he's better than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and he's got that. So if you can sign him for under 620, go for it, because
wow, crazy.
To me, 620 for how many years?
10 years, probably.
11 to 12. I would extend, because here's the thing. I would extend the years.
He's what?
Just because you got to think of it long term. If we're 8 years from now and he's starting to go on his downturn, hopefully we've won at least 1 or 2 championships with him here, right? So we're not going to care that much. We know why the deal was made, why it happened. I also think if we get it done in season or very early in free agency, that's going to attract more people to want to come here. Maybe take more team-friendly deals because they want to be in a championship team. That does happen.
Yes, right. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Tucker's 28
right
now. So 620 over 10 is 62 a year. You see, that's the top side.
Well,
I was saying that's like the top that I would.
Like,
yeah,
that is a lot of freaking money.
Well, he's going to become the highest paid player this offseason, regardless of whether we're in there or not. I'd rather we be in there. Again,
I mean, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I am. It's hard to swallow. Like it's hard to swallow to look at that and look at the rest of the team needs and wonder where and I'm saying this all without looking at the budget and just emotionally.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's hard to wonder kind of where the rest of the team's needs are going to come from with that big of a price tag on one player, which is part of why I've always kind of understood why they've shied away from big contracts. But at the same time, Tucker is just a different freaking animal. The dude is solid as they come.
The
and
thing
has
about,
been like his entire career, right?
Yeah, the thing about it is like winning teams don't think about that, you know. And winning players don't think about that. They sign their agreements, and if someone eclipses them, you know that it happened. I mean, the problem is though we've not thought like a winning team for a very long time, and I think it's time to change that. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so we have the Brewers coming up. We got the Giants as well. We're starting to get into like some of the more of the. We're inching toward a quote unquote easier schedule. You know, Ethan, we'll start with you. Let's just give her a quick last minute thoughts about you know, this upcoming week. Then we'll kind of take care of that trivia and move forward. What's up? What do you think, Ethan?
I think taking two out of 3 against the Brewers is all I really care about. As long as we don't get swept by the Giants.
Yeah.
The Giants right now, I don't think it's going to be sustainable the whole season, but they're pitching, their bullpen, and they're off Jung Ho Lee and Mike Yastrzemski, and honestly, their newest shortstop that they poached from our beloved Brewers, Willie Adames, has been kicking it up.
Is awesome.
I thought he was pretty damn good in Milwaukee. He's
I agree anymore.
Yeah, he's tearing it up in San Francisco. So
no, I love this series. I love this week. I think it's going to be you know, again, you know, it's funny. Every season, no matter what part of the season it is, whenever we see a new team, I'm always get really excited. You know, we see the new players coming in. So yeah, the Brewers think series will be good for not that it's too early to think about this, but it's still, you got to take the division games when you have them. Rob, what do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
What do you think we're moving into this week?
I think we need to crush the Brewers, and we need to take at least one from the Giants. Yeah. Obviously, I'd prefer to take 2 or 3, but
of course.
But if we crush the Brewers, sweep them, and then do a 1-2 with the Giants, I'll be happy. Truthfully,
we're in good shape, guys. I'm excited about it. Let's close up this show. Rob, you had a really good question. I'm gonna make one guess and see if this is correct or not.
All right.
And I don't know the other guy's name, but were the Russells on there?
Yes.
Okay, the Bill Russell, and I forgot the other guy's name.
Rick and Paul.
Rick and Paul. Okay.
Russell.
Ethan, you got any guesses here before we go through the list?
I thought Wilson and William Contreras played at the same time, or at least in the organization.
Do we ever have William?
But I can't remember. That's the only thing I can think of.
No, we never had. I don't think we ever had William.
No, we'll have the Russell. We have the Russells. Let me just throw some names.
I didn't pull up anything on the Contreras brothers. I don't recall.
No, I don't think that was
whether we did or not. I think they were just coming up at the same time.
But who are the other 4? So we can get the hell out of here, guys.
Got any other guesses, Ethan?
No, I don't.
No? Okay.
It's probably some guy from the 1876.
No, I said within the last 50-some odd years.
Right. Well, who are the winners?
All right, so we got Andrew and Austin Romine.
Okay.
From 2021.
Wow.
Who were the only brothers who formed a battery that I could find.
Right.
Pitcher
the
and catcher.
The Russells.
The Romines, the Russells. Currently, we have Christian and Alexis Hernandez in our farm system.
Oh, I didn't know we were talking farm system. There's no way I'd get that one.
No, I mean that's a bonus. And then we had Christopher and Rafael Morel. and Rafi hasn't made it out of the farm system yet, but
Right.
Chris Morel's little brother was in the farm system at the same
I'm
time.
going
he was
to put flashing. I'm going to put flashing when you asked the question earlier. I'm going to put the flashing on there. Minor league included. Bam, bam, bam. Who's number 5, Rob?
It's a couple of guys I never really heard of. Danny and Hal Breeden in 1971.
I was -6 that year.
I mean,
my dad was 10, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know that one. I just found that during research. So,
all right, guys. Well,
there we go.
That's gonna that'll do it for trivia. We hope you guys enjoy what we were just chatting about all day, because the Cubs are doing well. We're happy. We're having fun.
Cubs is good.
The Cubs is good. The Cubs is good baseball. The Cubs be very, very good to me. Ethan, Rob, say goodbye, and we'll let this
Good
one
night,
go.
everybody. See you.
Good night, everybody.
All right, everybody. See y'all next week.